My time in Alaska was one of the most profound experiences that I've ever had in my life.
It's special beyond words. Every day that we're out there and we're web tagging goslings, we're seeing other goslings from other species. I feel pretty lucky to be here.
I just kind of want to be able to keep doing it. And the research in these remote areas are so important because it's hard to do. And so, I would like to be able to keep carrying that torch and making sure research is getting done in places like this.
It's a wave of new life, new generation, and you're seeing the start of birds and their future migration.
Just being able to immerse yourself in a job and something you love and working with the animals that you adore and stuff. It's been just so amazing. I'm definitely gonna be doing more of this.
There's so much beauty, despite how tough life is out here on the tundra. This area is just a bastion of life for so many species that travel all around the world. So it's truly a remarkable place, a wonderful experience. Took a smaller plane to a small city called Bethel with no roads in or out, so you either arrive by boat or by plane. The next day I boarded a small little bush plane. I was the only passenger with a bunch of mail, and we did a really beautiful flight. I can't explain the amount of lakes and ponds that you see over the tundra. It looks like just a sparkling jewel of a landscape. And the pilot did a little bit of a detour, and he said, well, I gotta take you to the mud volcano. You gotta see the mud volcano. I was like, absolutely, I gotta see the mud volcano. So we did that, and we landed at the Shivak airport, which was a strip of dirt. Landed, unloaded, and the research team was waiting for me there, stocking up on some of their essentials like fuel, water, some food items. It was quite the journey to get there. I was interested in the Antarctic Artisan Riders Program, and it was really just kind of on a whim last year that I was like, I wonder if they brought that program back. And I saw that they'd consolidated to Polar Steam, and it was open to educators now.
Where are we at? Bering Sea now! This is crazy!
So I applied, went through a series of interviews, and lucky enough to get selected to go help with a wildlife study in the Yukon Delta. And I said, absolutely, sign me up. The Polar Steam team did a wonderful job getting us prepped, ready. So it was more than anything, it was the excitement, it was the anticipation. Hi, I'm Eric. I am a Polar Steam educator and the Assistant Director of Sci-Port Discovery Center. I'm out here in the Yukon Delta of Alaska, and I am part of a team that is out here researching brant geese and making sure that they're tagged, checking in on their hatch, and just overall monitoring the health of the species here in this major breeding area. So my job with the team is I will be here for 2 weeks, just documenting what they're doing, the life of a field biologist, learning a lot about what they do, the species that they interact with, and Alaska as an ecosystem here right on the coastal tundra, and showing what these wonderful researchers are working on. It's super exciting. It's definitely been an adventure, and I'm excited to see what the rest of it holds.
Hello!
So the study was on black brant geese, and this has been a long-term study that's got around 40 years of data that's already been established. So the team goes out to the same area, conducts the same studies, and they're looking at what's the health of the population, what are some of these trends, what are some of the threats to eggs, what are some of the ways that nests are succeeding, where are they succeeding. So the first phase, when the team gets out there, they actually come out when the snow is still melting. Some of the team get helicoptered in early with some of the supplies, and they set up the actual structure of our 2 weather port tents. Then they begin phase 1, which is they'll use a very systematic approach to find out where are the eggs, where are the nests.
I'm a lot closer than
Of what species within these different areas, essentially, that they have gridded out on their map. And they'll mark them.
Hey there, Roo.
So during that phase, it gives them a chance to get familiar with the landscape, with the area that they're going to be working with, what species are congregating where. They'll have all that data.
Come on, bud. Let's go.
Which gets into the second phase as the weather starts to warm and the broods start to hatch. They'll go out every day and they'll notate these eggs are starting to pip, which is where they start to break through just a little bit on the eggs, or these ones are actively hatching, or in a lot of cases these ones were predated, whether that's from foxes or gulls. After hatch and all the nests are accounted for and then recorded, whether they were successful or not, at the end of this study, they will gather up all the geese during their first molt so they can't fly away, and they'll put bands on them. That way they're banded when it's time for them to take their first migratory flight. So if you ever see any birds that have these metal or plastic colored tags on their legs, that means a biologist has banded them, and they use that to determine when bands are reported, where are these animals going, were they sighted by birders, were they harvested by hunters, what was the outcome with that bird's life. And it gives us better understanding about what these populations are doing and how they're faring over time. The team was absolutely phenomenal. We had a camp lead who was a PhD student, so his name was James. This field season, kind of how does this tie into your career trajectory and what you're working on and what you're working towards?
Yeah, so most of my career, I've actually worked on remote projects. This is probably one of the most remote. As far as like tying into my career, I just kind of want to be able to keep doing it. And like, the research in these remote areas are so important because it's hard to do. And so, you know, I would like to be able to keep carrying that torch and making sure research is getting done in places like this. And the PhD, you know, that helps me get into research and stay in research and do these kind of things. So, yeah.
And then there were 2 biologist technicians, so Eileen and Decca, who had had a lot of experience working with different other animal projects and assisting, and they were super knowledgeable and super generous with their time. All right, Eileen, how long have you been out in Alaska?
I've been out in Alaska now for a month and a half. It's been the best month and a half probably in my life.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
So it's all been bright skies and nice sunshine like today?
Oh no. No way. I mean, when you sign up for a job like this, you're signing up for the best and the worst of it. So most of the days have been rain and snow and crazy tides and the unexpected, but gosh, that's why we're here. We're here to experience it all and see these birds and study them. It's been amazing.
You've been out here kind of working with these birds for a while now. What's it like watching that new generation come into the world?
Yeah, it's quite something. Hatch is an amazing sight because it's not only the brand, it's many other species here in the Delta. So emperor geese, greater white fronts, cackling goose, and not only waterfowl, but many shorebird species as well as songbird are nesting here in the grasses around us. It's just kind of, it's a wave of new life, new generation, and you're seeing the start of birds and their future migration.
And then we had an undergraduate research intern, Bella, as well. As you're looking forward to some of the other things going on, what are some of the things you think this may have interested you in moving forward in your education and your career? Do you think you're going to kind of continue on with the field route of field biology?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, after this, I am for sure getting into some more tech jobs, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of has just opened my eyes to like the amazing things you can be doing out here, and like just being able to immerse yourself in a job and something you love, and like working with the animals that you like adore and stuff. It's been just so amazing. I'm definitely gonna be doing more of this.
The four of them were out there day in, day out, gathering the data. I was recording, I was taking pictures, I was taking videos, I was asking questions, just trying to understand not only the ecosystem and the area around me, also to understand what's research like.
Yep, pretty sweet, huh?
We can sometimes forget what it takes to collect the data once we're looking at, all right, these are the results on paper, or there's a news article. In order to even get that information, you know, there were people out trudging out, in our case, through the mud of the tundra, which I will say it's deceptive. It looks like a flat grassland. You're like, okay, that's probably not too difficult to traverse. At best, it was like walking on like a Swiss cake roll. So check out behind me. Nothing but mud flats. This is crazy. And at worst, it was like a congealed pudding that you'd sink into immediately up to your knees. Oh.
What happened?
I'm stuck. It's that right leg. There it is. This is my hand for comparison. That is, as they say in the business, a substantial moose. So it was some work. Getting some photography. Everything's covered in mud, and it continues to be a beautiful morning here. But the mosquitoes are multiplying by the minute. It was an awesome experience being able to learn from them what it is they're collecting, what it is specifically they're looking for, and how connected they were to the animals in the landscape by being around it in proximity, really trying to study and understand it. Welcome to Camp Tatacoke. This camp is a river camp set up along the Tatacoke River. It is about a 3-hour boat ride from the nearest village of Chivac. And out here, everything has to be self-sufficient, from food, shelter, tools, all of it. So let's take a look at what this camp looks like. So we had 2 weather ports, which are like larger kind of dome tents. All right, so it is about that time for a camp tour. So I am here with the crew. Would y'all mind kind of giving everybody a glimpse of what is in camp?
Absolutely. We'll start with the main port.
Let's do it.
This is where we spend a lot of our time, especially when we're not out in the field. All of our meals, we'll do card games and hanging out when we're not working. Furnace is very important, keeps us warm. We got our meat freezer, our stove, all our games and books. We do a lot of reading and actually drawing this year. We're doing a lot of drawing. This is where we'll hang all our wet clothes or like dish towels to dry. They get most of the heat here from the furnace. Have our battery right here. Gets some solar power when we need it for our GPSs. Those are also very important. Can't be getting lost out here. Next is the food port.
So this is the food port, one of our oldest shelters. So this is where we keep all our gear. It's kind of a mess right now as it tends to be towards the latter half of the season. But rain jackets, waders, our float coats for the boat, stuff like that. Tool bench, classic, always a mess, makes your dad angry. A bunch of different types of gear that we rely on throughout the summer. So that's where we store everything. So we have all our food on the back wall. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the food port.
And then we each have our own individual tents to sleep in.
Welcome to our tent town. This has been our home for the past 2 months now. These things have stayed up and super cozy, super nice. We get a lot of black turnstones, dunlin, and short-billed gulls.
Always.
They kind of use it as a perch because it's one of the highest spots out here. Look over to your tent over there. You got a friend over there.
Which I do want to point out, they love to yell at about 3 a.m.
It's always a treat to see who's out here in the morning time. Like right when I opened my tent, I looked across here at our Cashtut mud flats and saw 2 moose walking by. So not something you see every day back home. It's always something new.
So here we have my tent, and we'll kind of give you an example of what a layout would look like inside for 3 months of living. A table, it's a makeshift either drying station or wash station for my hair, or just a place that I can clean up before going into my tent. I've got a little bit of plywood here that I use as a platform. That way I can take my shoes off before I step in and keep things separate from the inside as well. Portable cot that we use for a bed. Then this is one of my pieces of luggage. I use it as my clothes trunk. My second piece of luggage I use as a nightstand, as well as just kind of electronics and other personal items. They've got lots of vent for getting moisture out, and my AC is put layers on and and take layers off. So, but it's pretty great. It's cozy. I sleep better out here than I do some nights at home.
But other than that, that was it. There were no other human settlement structures, anything. So when we get done in the tundra, we didn't have internet. You know, you can't be just texting people. So it was actually really nice to be disconnected. We were just so much more present and in each other's company. We had a great time. I mean, we played a lot of card games. Uno was a popular one.
Eric's gotten everything from you hitting me.
We also would do things like draw. A lot of them had some inhibitions about learning to draw, and so we would do sketching lessons after the day, and then they ended up would be doing it on their own time. They got really into it. That was super exciting. We had a battery-powered radio that if the weather was just right, we could pick up either Nome, Alaska's radio station or Bethel's. There was a call line. You could request a song. And if the weather was just perfect, we could use we had a sat phone that we were able to communicate with loved ones and let them know we were all good. And we were able to call in once and request a song.
And the sweet escape by Gwen Stefani taking us to the top, a request from Eileen in the middle of the Yukon.
You would have thought, you know, we won the Super Bowl or something. So you really appreciate the little things.
A month and a half we have talked about getting this song on the radio. I hope that it plays the next song very clear.
Don't touch it! It's playing!
It came with things that were, I suppose, less comfortable. We had no running water. So it made you appreciate, like, all right, running water makes dishes so much easier, and, you know, you're not using what you may have referred to as goose juice from the pond. And likewise, no running water means no showers. There was a plywood sauna that was built out there. So far, the researchers have been busy at work, and they've not been able to find much wood since it's a tundra. The only wood they can find is whatever driftwood happens to wash up. So with that being said, they have not used their sauna yet, but the hope is that today might be the day. So we shall see. We would get lucky sometimes because we were right along the Bering Sea, and driftwood would wash up. I mean, that was worth its weight in gold to us. So we'd get that chopped, get that stored, tried to dry it out a little bit. Yeah! On the rare occasion where the weather worked out and we had the wood, we would get a fire going in this drum, and then same old pan full of pond water. We poured along the stones, and that was how you kept clean. And again, it makes you appreciate the conveniences of, I think, the lives that a lot of us get used to. Yeah, being out in the camp, it definitely had its beautiful things and its challenges. And so much of that just stems from just being out in Alaska itself and being so far removed for everything. So it was refreshing.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
So we usually gather around here, drink our coffee, eat breakfast, and let me tell you, on a cold day, there's nothing better than a pancake sauna.
We ran out of mozzarella, so we are shredding baby bells right here.
About to make some fried rice though for the solstice. Solstice rise.
Yeah.
They had us in the first half.
In the beginning?
No, I'm just saying 15.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's like I'm
My bad. My bad, brain.
Oh no, the bad counting is already
You know? Sorry.
Oh!
Ah, dude!
Hey man, you're getting water inside.
Going out to the tundra and being able to witness the wildlife that I did and meet the people that I did, it was just such a phenomenal experience. When I was there, something occurred to me that was, I guess, really profound for me, and it was that so many of these species that we see and interact with here in the southern United States, I was seeing them nesting and rearing brand new life up there. And so the connection of what's happening in the tundra, what these animals are able to do, and how successful or unsuccessful their next generation is, has a direct impact on the population health throughout this whole area. Even though it feels like Alaska is so far away, the ramifications of what happens in Alaska absolutely can be felt here.
Even though this is a Brant-focused project, conservation of Brant is also to help conserve all the different species that are out here. We're up to 52 species that we've seen. Yeah, most of those nest here. So
Few and far between now, especially in the lower 48, do you find parcels of land like this that are pretty untouched. I mean, there are still people out here, of course, people of Chivak and other areas that use the land, but for the most part, it's just tundra and birds. And so, if you can really get on the ground and study these species, and I think that also has an impact on protecting these lands too.
Historically, that's what these species have used, and if this is no longer here historically in this spot, then when they migrate, they won't know where to go and they won't have the habitat to utilize for that purpose. So it's important to not only preserve it, but understand it and understand how it's changing through the years.
I feel like, as we mentioned before, eBird and stuff, just doing the citizen science, you're out there enjoying nature, but what you see and reporting it, it really helps.
All of us can stand to appreciate how interconnected everything is. What we do here, what happens up in Alaska, what happens around the world, is going to impact in some way or form everything. So the more aware and conscientious we are of that, the more we can be mindful about our decisions. And I think that's more important than ever, is that we think about how do we preserve, how do we protect, and how do we ensure the world is better not only for us, but for everything that shares it with us.
All right, I am currently on the back of an ATV, and that is my plane. Upon such vast expanse, that Alaskan west, do flock the intrepid, those come to nest. Sheer howling winds and rain unyielding, with muddy sloughs cut through the fielding. As foxes prowl through whispering grasses, the hungry gulls take wing in masses. Yet here is home on the coast of Bering, where parents gather, devout and caring. Sparrow, eider, swan, and goose sit nestled among the wandering moose. Amid the dangers, those toils that strife, burst from the tundra most precious life. Those little miracles with radiant glow will venture forth to learn and grow. To wing, the young ones take flight. The world awaits their futures bright, a gleaming jewel where life is won, this summer land of the midnight sun. So thank you so much to everyone who helped make this possible. I am so beyond grateful to have had the experience out here in the Alaskan tundra.